Man City identify exciting £85 million replacement for Kevin De Bruyne as Pep Guardiola looks to refresh his aging squad next season. Manchester City have identified Germany international Florian Wirtz as a target before another round of squad rebuilding. The attacking midfielder, who has 27 goals and assists for Bayer Leverkusen so far this season and is wanted by Bayern Munich, has long been on City's radar, but interest is set to increase as the Premier League champions continue to drive down the average age of Pep Guardiola's squad. Wirtz is valued at north of £85 million, and Leverkusen want to tie the 21-year-old down to a new contract, with 2 years left to run on his current deal. While City didn't move for Wirtz in January, there is an awareness that strengthening in midfield in an era after Kevin De Bruyne is paramount. De Bruyne's contract expires in the coming months, and the club legend turns 34 in June. The Belgian's future remains up in the air, and Guardiola is managing his game time. Wirtz is seen as one of the most revered young midfielders in Europe, and several clubs are primed for a scramble for his signature, as well as Vincent Kompany's Bayern. Wednesday's Champions League opponents Real Madrid are credited with interest. Bayern have talked up landing Wirtz given his partnership with Jamal Musiala at international level. Phil Foden is seen as being capable of dovetailing in a way Musiala has for Germany. City were among those keeping an eye on Musiala's situation during protracted contract negotiations at Bayern, ended by signing until 2030 last week, but had suspected the ex-Chelsea Academy star would commit 2 fresh terms. Leverkusen, second in the Bundesliga behind Bayern, had watched City's James McAtee earlier in the campaign. City now have one of the oldest squads in the Premier League, and alongside De Bruyne in midfield is Ilkay Gundogan, 34, Mateo Kovacic and Bernardo Silva, both 30. Nico Gonzalez, the £50 million capture from Porto, is 23 and impressed on his league debut during the 4-0 win over Newcastle at the weekend. Defenders Abdulkadir Kusanov and Vitor Reis are raw talents, with Saturday's hat-trick hero Omar Marmoush hitting his prime at 26 years old. There remains money to spend in the summer after the £185 million transfer business, with Juventus fullback Andrea Cambiaso a potential arrival. However, Man City, fearful of missing out in battle to sign £90 million star Manchester City, are concerned that they will be unable to wrap up a deal for Bayer Leverkusen star Florian Wirtz when the transfer window reopens for business in the summer after boss Pep Guardiola has gone in search of making wholesale changes to his Etihad Stadium squad, Givmesport sources have revealed. The Sky Blues are contemplating whether to attempt to raid the reigning Bundesliga champions just a matter of weeks after they agreed a big-money deal with one of their German counterparts, with Omar Marmoush sealing a switch worth an initial £59 million from Eintracht Frankfurt. Nico Gonzalez was another big-money addition hours before the winter deadline, thanks to completing a £50 million move after a last-minute deal was agreed with Porto. But Guardiola is already making plans to strengthen his attacking options ahead of the 2025-26 campaign after seeing his side fall by the wayside in the race for Premier League glory. Sky Blues concerned Wirtz will not seal deal. Champions worry Germany international has other plans. Manchester City are fearful of missing out on attracting Wirtz away from Bayer Leverkusen, according to GMS sources, as there is growing confidence behind the scenes that he has other plans in mind if he embarks on a fresh challenge ahead of next season getting underway. The 21-year-old wide attacker's current employers are desperate to keep him on board for the long term, having seen him play a pivotal role in ending their wait to be crowned the German top-flight champions last term, resulting in them only being prepared to sanction his departure if a bid worth a minimum of £90 million is tabled in the summer. GMS sources have been informed that Manchester City are firm admirers of Wirtz, who has racked up 26 goal contributions in all competitions this season. But there is an awareness that it will be difficult to get the deal over the line after he has been gaining interest from a host of big hitters across the continent. The Germany international has been described as a genius by Bayer Leverkusen head coach Xabi Alonso, highlighting that it will take a lucrative fee to convince the Bundesliga highflyers to give a move the green light. But that has not stopped the Sky Blues circling as they go in search of fresh impetus in the final third of the pitch. Guardiola has made it clear that he would love to recruit a playmaker of Wirtz's profile, GMS sources have learned. But influential figures at Manchester City are worried that he will prove to be out of their reach, and they could be left frustrated if they push for his signature in the coming months. Grealish among trio facing uncertain future. Guardiola looking to make several changes to squad this summer. GMS sources have been told that Guardiola is preparing to make significant alterations to his squad, as there are ongoing doubts over whether goalkeeper Ederson, winger Jack Grealish, or creative midfielder Kevin De Bruyne will still be on Manchester City's by the time the summer transfer window slams shut. The latter is edging towards departing as a free agent, as he entered the final 6 months of a contract which allows him to pocket £400,000 per week at the turn of the year, and there have been no indications that he is on the cusp of ending speculation over his future by penning fresh terms. Manchester City have set their sights on bringing in a new first-choice shot-stopper fullback, central midfielder and attacker before next season. GMS sources understand meaning the reigning Premier League champions are preparing to be active when they are able to open negotiations. But the Sky Blues have been handed a major boost as GMS sources recently revealed that Ballon d'Or winner Rodri is expected to sign an extended contract soon, which would result in him following in the footsteps of Guardiola and teammate Erling Haaland after they signed on the dotted line. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.